Welcome to this episode of the podcast. Today I have with me Dagur, just actually married to Glódís, which we have seen here. Hey Dagur.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm good.
You're a tattooist in Iceland.
Yes.
And recently you were without an arm.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's still here, but
Okay.
it wasn't working.
Okay. That was the story about that, though. A macho story.
Not really. Just stupidity, I guess.
Yeah.
It was arm wrestling. Which is never a good idea for anybody.
At a tattoo convention.
Yes. Tattoo convention.
Convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right.
The Icelandic Tattoo Expo.
Yeah.
Just a few beers and shit happens.
It can do that, yes.
Yeah.
But what I find fascinating is that most of the people that I've talked to are people that I know and know something about.
Mm-hmm.
About you, I know almost nothing. And that's fascinating.
Which is how I like it.
It's fascinating. And I was thinking about this yesterday before I was thinking about this interview thing. And is it correct remembering that you grew up in Breiðholt?
No.
That's wrong.
Grew up in Hafnarfjörður.
You grew up here in
Yes.
Hafnarfjörður? Okay.
I was born in Reykjavík. Moved to Kjalarnes. Lived there until I was probably 3-4 years old, and then moved to Hafnarfjörður and lived here ever since.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Hafnarfjörður is a suburb of Reykjavík.
Yes.
Kind
The
of. 20
best
minutes
one.
away. The best one?
Yes.
It's okay.
I lived in Breiðholt for probably 6 years or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with my wife Glódís.
Yeah, okay.
She's born there, so it took a few years to get her out of there.
Yeah, get her out of the hood.
Yes.
Yeah. That's funny though, because I was thinking about this. We talked about this probably with Glódís.
Mm.
We were kind of fooling around with Breiðholt because it's kind of the hood of Reykjavík.
The
ghetto. But in reality, if you're living in the States and you're thinking about a ghetto, it's not that.
I think it's probably only because they have a lot of people. Probably they have a big population of immigrants in some areas.
Yeah.
And
also the way it started out.
Yes, and a lot of government-owned apartments and stuff.
That was before they knew how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They just built a lot of housing complexes, and they were all government-owned.
Mm-hmm.
And they quickly found out that was not the best idea.
No. No, but it's good to live there, but Hafnarfjörður is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you grow up somewhere.
Yes.
It kind of makes it home.
You
in
get
a way.
attached to it.
Where in Hafnarfjörður did you live?
I lived on Strandgarða.
Okay, downtown.
Yes. We're close to the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to probably when I was 11 or 12. We moved to a different neighborhood, Álfaskeið.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's close though.
Yes, but basically I lived there from like probably 12 until I moved out.
Okay. Did you move out from your parents?
Yes.
When you were 12?
No, I lived there until I moved out. From when I was 12.
Okay. Okay, that would have been weird.
It's way too early.
Yeah.
That's not good parenting.
No, not especially, no. Okay. And how did you become a tattoo artist? How did that happen? Did you know when you were young that was something you wanted to do, or?
Kind of. I always knew I wanted to do something with art.
Okay.
It's just because probably is the only thing I'm kind of good at.
Okay.
So I've been drawing since I can remember. I was probably, I think it started probably when I was like 13, 14. My friend made a homemade tattoo machine and I was the only one he knew how that could draw.
Okay.
So of course they asked me to try it out and I tattooed a few of my friends.
How the fuck did you do that?
Made it from, I guess, like an electric toothbrush or something. And just a regular sewing needle.
Okay.
Yeah, so it didn't turn out great. But that's probably where it started. You know, I wanted to get tattooed and I got my first one when I was 15, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you had cool parents that would sign off for that?
It took a lot of nagging, whining. So I got my first one from Fjölnir when I was 15, and after that I just knew I just wanted more and more, and so I kind of knew I wanted to do it. Actually, my parents bought me this like Chinese crap tattoo machines when I was 16, I think. Never ended up using them, but I started getting tattooed at Bleksmiðjan, the shop I work at now, and kind of got to know Sigrún, the owner, and kind of escalated from there. I was getting tattooed from her, and I think I kind of let her know that I was interested in it, and she offered me an apprenticeship.
Okay, cool. It's the right time also, because if you've been like 5 or 10 years earlier, that wouldn't have been an option.
No. And it's not, usually you don't get asked or if you want an apprenticeship.
No, it's you have to go at it.
Yeah, but I think like I was bringing in drawings and stuff, so they saw what I could draw and stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, just went from there.
What was your first tattoo with Fjölnir?
It's covered up now, but
Okay.
I got my name.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't forget. It was in Iceland, the Futhark runes on the inner forearm.
Okay.
It's all blacked out now, so.
Okay. I still have one from him
Oh yeah?
on my neck. This awesome techno tribal thing.
Master Fjölnir.
yeah. Yeah, I found his phone somewhere. And I opened it up, saw his number and all his friends, and I called him up and said, hey, Fjölnir, I found your phone. And that happened.
Of course. Well, Fjölnir is a really funny guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good
really
guy.
good guy.
Yeah, definitely.
He's one of the OGs of tattooing in Iceland
Mm-hmm.
and still going strong, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And getting better also.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was going to physical therapy thing, and I had an oversharer over the desk, a girl
Yeah.
who shared way too much about her life,
I hate those people.
and ended up showing me all kinds of tattoos all over. And I was like, okay, fine. I was just trying to get in, but it was after Fjölnir. It was realism, and it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I think as soon as you stop trying to get better or stop trying to learn new things, it's just you should
You
just
go
quit.
backwards fast.
You should just quit.
Yeah, definitely. But it seems like the tattoo thing in Iceland is kind of all over the place now. How many shops are in Iceland?
I don't even know.
No, because when I was growing up, you either went to Fjölnir or Sverrir and Svanir. There was those three.
It's definitely getting way bigger,
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody trying to grow, everybody taking in apprentices.
I started tattooing in 2011.
Yeah.
and it was, I mean, it was changing then, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
but
kind of
still,
starting to change. Then.
yes, but I feel like in Iceland, maybe the past 3 years, it's like blown up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's shops opening up all over the place, and because 2011-12, I knew all the shops
Mm-hmm.
in Iceland, like, and it was only like a handful of shops in Reykjavik. But now I feel like I'm hearing about a new shop every week.
Yeah, it feels like that kind
Mm-hmm.
of. But it's not all bad though.
No, I mean,
I think when I was just like probably 14 or 15 years ago, home tattooing was not frowned upon.
oh yeah,
It was not like that. That was just
that doesn't happen anymore.
no. It
almost.
was just normal.
Yeah.
That was just the standard wasn't higher than that.
Mhm.
Now, if anybody's doing home tattoos, people kind of
Yeah, I think it's changed that there used to always be, you always knew about a few scratchers tattooing at their house,
yeah,
but you don't have those anymore. I
No.
think people just open up shops.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you work where you work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blocking out the name.
Bleksmiðjan.
Bleksmiðjan. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the English thing. How would you say it in English? But it's called Bleksmiðjan, so that's
Probably ink factory or something.
yeah, definitely, yeah. You have a lot of tattoos there.
Yeah, we've had, it's from the beginning, kind of, it's been like the same core group of people.
Yeah,
It's Sigrun and Ingi, the owners. There was one girl tattooing before me, but she quit. I started working there, and it's been, Sigrun, Ingi, me, and Glódís, like kind of from the beginning.
yeah,
But we've had some people come and go, but yeah, the shop is getting way bigger.
yeah.
It started out with us four in like a really small shop.
Where did they start, Sigrun? Where did they have their first break?
Ingi started tattooing 98 or 99, probably 98. He started his apprenticeship, which I think didn't last for very long. So, and he opened up his own shop probably around 2000 in Kópavogur.
Mm-hmm.
That place got broken into and everything was stolen, so he had to close up. And then he just spent a few years trying to get back on his feet, and he opened up Bleksmiðjan with Sigrun. But he taught Sigrun how to tattoo. I forget when she started, but I think she's been tattooing probably 12, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah. And how was it growing up in Hafnarfjörður in your days?
It's good. It was good.
Okay, because you're a little younger than me,
Mm-hmm.
and we've talked a lot about how much everything has changed. Being a teenager today, from being a teenager when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
How was it in your day? Because when I started drinking 12, and that was kind of just
I think I had my first drink probably 12 or 13.
yeah. So it was still like that then.
Yeah, definitely. A lot more playing outside, I guess. We didn't have we had a computer, but really old and shitty one.
Mm-hmm.
So really couldn't play games on, so it was just, running around, stealing stuff, probably. Skateboarding,
Yeah.
yeah. Just making trouble, I think, in general.
Yeah. Was it like for me? It was a core group of guys, always up to no good.
Yeah. It
It's
was
the same
definitely, yeah. It was a pretty big group of guys.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few guys from my school and then a few guys from Víðistaðaskóli.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, basically just hanging around up to no good,
Yeah,
smoking cigarettes and stuff.
yeah. I remember we grew up in Mosó, which is another suburb in Iceland. It was kind of farther away than Hafnarfjörður, and there was only one school there, so we were just the core group from that school. There was no two schools or nothing there, and we were always, there was a guy running like a candy store. I don't know what they called it. It had it everywhere back then. Sold cigarettes and Coke and Snickers and VC, and you could rent
like a video store.
Video rental thingy. And he used to buy all kinds of stolen stuff from us in exchange for cigarettes.
Yeah, we just used to, because you would always find preferably like a video store or which you would hang around in.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
to just steal cigarettes from a place.
yeah, that was the jam. And drinking outside of that
Yes.
establishment.
Yes. And throwing up.
Yeah. What's that movie called? Clerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah, it's the same deal. So thinking about it, it's probably universal.
It was nothing else to do. So
Yeah.
Just.
It was the same for me, but we used to have like this after school thingy where they had discotheques and DJs and all kinds of, but we didn't fit in there because drinking and smoking was frowned upon.
Of course. Yeah, we had that too, kind of like what do you call it? Not a youth center or something?
I think I think that's the right term.
Yeah. We could go there and play like PlayStation and stuff, but it was only fun for a short amount of time.
Yeah, and then you had to do something real.
Yeah, of course. Steal something.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know how this is going to come through, but I've been talking a lot to my friends, and we all have the same backstory, so to say. We all did the same things, all stupid fuckers that somehow found our way. And your story is a little bit that the tattoo business kind of got you.
I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't for that, because I think I always felt like I didn't fit in anywhere, and I think this drawing was, I guess the only thing I liked to do and the only thing that I really enjoyed doing and thought I was good at, so it was always going to be something with that, or just become a hobo or something.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, because I've been wondering, because I have grown-ups now, teenagers, and trying to find their ways, and it's something you cannot kind of guide kids through.
No, I think it's sometimes probably too much pressure on kids to have to know what they want to do instead of just figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know, gradually.
And find out because the pressure in Iceland now is that you go to high school, then you go to university, and if you don't have a degree from a university, you kind of have nothing. That's kind of how the social pressure is now.
Yeah.
Learning how to do something with your hands is kind of just, oh, wow, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of put into the same mold.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you don't fit into that, like I got thrown around, I think, kind of a bit in school, because I was like not good at reading or writing or math or anything, so it just kind of kept me somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I was loud and
Yeah, same. I have the same story, and I think this is something, or I hope this is something in the future we're going to look back at and say, well, what the fuck were we doing?
I think you should encourage people, or not just see what people like to do, or kids, you know, and just kind of help them
get there.
Yeah,
I think that would be such a cool system if it was a possibility, that just if you have interest, I think we would get a lot of super smart people doing exactly what they should be doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like good people who do a good job, whatever it is, or are good at what they do, even if it's carpentry or whatever, and without like acing school or acing tests or something.
Yeah,
Just
but
self-taught.
yeah, but it's also I was thinking about this the other day, that the struggle of finding yourself, there's also value in that, especially when you're dealing with art and you're creating something. Without the struggle, I'm not sure you would get the same result, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I still sometimes feel like I don't know what I want to do. I mean, I love tattooing, and I guess I kind of sometimes feel like get this imposter syndrome or whatever. Like I feel like sometimes I wake up and like almost don't believe that this is my job. You know, I get to do what I think it's fun to do and what I like to do, and get paid for it and make a living. So yeah, I guess sometimes I struggle still with the feeling of like I have to know exactly what I like, or have like a vision of exactly what I want to do. But I think for me, like like I said, I always knew I wanted to do something with art, and then I knew I wanted to get into tattooing. But I think I'm like stuff just always kind of happened for me. I think I just because I always just went with whatever came my way.
Yeah, but I think we all struggle with that, though, the imposter thing, because it's funny, it depends on your mood, just how you wake up that morning. And I've been doing this band thing now, and when I feel good, I'm just, we're gonna do something and it's gonna be cool. And just the other night we had a practice and I was not feeling like that, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Why am I wasting my time?
Why am I? This is definitely going nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important not to listen to that voice and just keep going, doing your stuff.
Yeah, I think it's not good for people to like be overconfident as well in what they do. Just always, because I always feel like everything I do is not good enough, which is probably a bad thing to some degree, but I think it's also a good thing, because
I think
it drives you to try to do better next time.
It drives you to grow and do better. I definitely think that. And
have to make mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, I think, a hard thing to talk about in tattoos, though.
Yeah. But everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Doctors make mistakes.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. But yeah, you try not to.
Yeah. But I think in the same time, tattoos are just that normal, and today that pedestal of thing, I'm getting something I'm always gonna have, it has to be with this meaning and the twist. I think that's kind of going away a little bit.
Getting their faces tattooed a lot. Yeah, I think tattoos depends on people. It's, I think, in some areas still frowned upon, but it's getting way more recognized as just something people do. Yeah,
definitely.
I remember when I first started like noticing tattoos, it was probably when I was 9, because my grandfather had all these sailor tattoos, and that's when I started like noticing them. But I feel like it's not that long ago that a heavily tattooed person was a guy who had like a full sleeve or something.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like now you go swimming or whatever, everybody has 2 sleeves.
Yeah,
the chest
the sleeve is kind of a standard.
Yeah. if you're between 20 and 30 years old, you should have a sleeve now. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, but what happens is people who really want to be different and I guess like in your face, like and get noticed. They always have to take it a step further because everybody has a sleeve, everybody has their chest, and
Yeah, that's funny also now because you see kids not that heavily tattooed, and the first thing they do is their neck and the hands.
yeah, and I feel like people they start going. They have to. If you want to be an over-the-top person, you have to take it a step further every year because by getting your face or your eyeballs tattooed, getting horns or whatever.
Fuck that.
It's getting harder to be a freak, I think.
Yeah, I saw this meme the other day about circus freaks.
Yeah.
And the circus manager was telling them off, I'm sorry, you're just normal now. Freak show is over. Go home.
Yeah. It's weird. Well, I still notice because we had people visiting from Miami. There's a guy who's a body modification artist, and he has his whole face tattooed.
Yeah, I saw pictures from Glótis.
Implants like horns and stuff. And people still like look at him weird, but that's what you have to do if you want.
How does it feel? Because now you have on your head and you're going, you have full neck and your hands, like going to parents' meetings and meeting other kids' parents and stuff like that. Do you feel it in that setting?
I was kind of nervous, I think, at first, but people really don't.
I think it matters also what you got.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Definitely.
If you have a cool tattoo, that's different than just having
a prison style tattoo or something.
Yeah. It's different.
But I think like parent meetings and stuff, it's really never been a problem. I mean, it happens where people look at you weird, but I think now people more like ask you about it and just are interested in it more than thinking it's like weird or something.
Yeah, I think also in Iceland we're pretty open to all kinds of stuff. Like being gay is no big deal in Iceland anymore. Or you have to look for it. Yeah. You have to go to a certain radio show or something to find it. But I think it's the same with tattoos and just being yourself. People are kind of free to that.
But I definitely think you see people going like way over the top now, and that I think those are the people that like want to be noticed, you know. But like I said, you have to take it a step further nowadays, because like I said, I remember like people looking at guy with 2 sleeves in the swimming pool. He used to be like heavily tattooed.
Yeah. And probably a drug dealer.
Yes. That's a standard.
Yeah. I remember my mother-in-law told me this when I was starting to go to my wife's parents for dinner and stuff when we were beginning. And she just told me that. It was just, I used to be scared with people with like sleeves and tattoos all over, and I'm kind of finding out it's not that way. Yeah.
It's more the older generation that like dislikes it.
Yeah.
My grandma did not like it, but like my mom, she doesn't like all my tattoos, I think, but she's always like supported me. She's tried to talk me out of stuff before, but hasn't worked. Yeah. But I think she my parents have always been really supportive of what I do. So
I think it's also just being on the other side now. If my kids find something they really like doing, I'm all for that. Yeah. just find a thing, do a thing.
Yeah, as long as you're happy with it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember not having anything, and just the only thing I wanted to be good at was being not so good.
Yeah.
And I can imagine if I had found something not really what my parents would like. If I've gotten into something, they would been, yeah, do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just long as you find something to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. If you find your way.
I think, but like with tattoos, I understand more the view now that you, like not wanting your kids to get tattooed, because I've gotten a lot of stupid tattoos over the year.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. But that also varies after kids. Like for Christmas, I gave my 18-year-old a tattoo.
Mhm.
And that was because I knew he had put a lot of thought in it,
Mhm.
and he went for something pretty unique and cool.
Mhm.
But I would not definitely, me picking out tattoos when I was 18, not a great idea.
Yeah. Because it's more of just wanting to get tattooed,
Yeah,
I think, than more than anything.
And I also think because I have some tattoos, and he's always kind of looked at that, and so he's been thinking about it for probably 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, my kids are not getting tattooed until they're like 23. But yeah, I think I understand it more now, because of course they're kids. You think they're perfect, and they don't need tattoos.
So you're your mom now.
Yes. At least if they want to get something, it has to be like something, like unique or cool, or
something you put some thought into, not just
and
like
a good artist, of course.
Yeah, of course. And like my oldest, he asked a lot, who should I talk to, and should I talk to do and twist? And of course, I wasn't cheering him on, but I also get it.
Yeah. And you're also the coolest guy in school.
Yeah, if you go to school.
I felt like I was when I was 15 because it was only me and one other guy who had a tattoo.
Yeah, that was different back then.
Yeah.
Not many kids under 18 had tattoos back then. I think, and not even today.
No.
And my oldest was pestering me for a couple of years to write that letter, and I was like, not gonna happen.
No. At least you have to wait until you're 18.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If I had a lot of money when I got 18, I would have so much tribal shit on me, and I'm super glad today I didn't. I only have this one ugly ass triangle shit I got in Amsterdam, and it's just wrong. It seems like in the middle of the tattoo he decided to not have the shading on the inside but on the outside.
Yeah.
So he just switched.
Sounds cool. Yeah, but I think it's a lot has changed, like regarding standards and as well and stuff at tattoo shops.
Yeah, definitely. And we also have a lot of guest artists.
Yeah.
Coming in.
It's just a lot more to choose from.
Yeah, definitely. And you definitely need to have something to become something. Now.
This is weird. Just like the standard of a good tattoo when I started tattooing, and the standard of a good tattoo today is way
worlds
higher.
Apart.
Yes.
I remember one of my oldest friends started to learn how to tattoo, and the first tattoos he was learning to do here was this. Do you remember the tortoises and the lizard thing?
Yeah.
Just monoblock black something. And that was kind of where the tattooing industry in Iceland was at that time.
It's getting, I think it's mostly probably because of like social media.
Yeah.
Because you can look at tattoos from all over the world.
Yeah.
Just pick and choose what you like.
Yeah, definitely. And also just, I think that also has to do with the internet, like you said. People are looking all over what are other people doing and what's happening there, and just all the knowledge base that you see. How he's doing like the realism thing.
Mhm.
It's just ridiculous. In a couple of years, that have gotten
Yeah.
just a different thing.
Yeah, it's. I think artists are way better now because of like Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
Because you can look
definitely.
at other people's work
You
without ever having to meet them or ever met them,
yeah.
and you can always compare. It gets kind of depressing sometimes.
But it's
Sometimes you scroll through and you think, well, I shouldn't even go in tomorrow.
but it's also just you have your own unique style thing,
Yeah.
and that's what people are attracted to too. Not
Mhm.
just one thing.
Hmm.
It's like the sleeve I got from Yolthor is, I think it's awesome today,
Mhm.
and he has definitely his style in that stuff,
Yeah.
and that's why I chose. Come on, that's why I chose to do that.
Yeah, I think to be a really famous, well-known artist today, you have to have really specific style, and yeah, because there's a lot of people basically replicating other people's stuff.
Yeah,
So, but I think, yeah, to be like really on top, you have to have something special about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. How old are your kids now?
5 and almost 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
so things are changing,
Hmm.
getting into the teens.
Yes, it's getting weird.
And how does it feel? I remember when my kids were going to that place. I was weird as fuck. My biggest fear was they're gonna be like me. Fuck. But
Yeah.
it didn't turn out that way though.
I've definitely thought about that, and I've definitely thought, just like, yeah, 5 more years is gonna be a lot of trouble, but you just have to take them
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
are.
But it's also just different.
Yeah.
It's not normal today that a 12-year-old kid, 12, 13-year-old is started smoking and drinking.
Mm-mm.
It's not the standard now.
Just stay inside, play Fortnite.
Yeah, it's more that, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, I think the only thing you can do is try to get them.
Yeah, definitely, and just and just let them figure their own way out
Mhm.
somehow. I've been trying that a lot because I remember when I was growing up, my parents were perfect,
Hmm.
and I never measured up to that, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So I think that also cost me some. It was a different time, kind of.
Yeah.
And the thinking, I think, behind it was that I'm going to show my kid that I'm doing everything right, and he's going to be better. And I think we don't think kind of on those lines anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's changed a little bit.
Hmm.
Because my kids know about all my stupid stuff.
Yeah. I'm not really worried about it. At least not yet,
No.
but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's good.
But
And
yeah, it's basically just, I think, trying to guide them in the right direction, and if they want to do something,
yeah, go
like,
for it.
yeah.
Find a thing.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, this has been fun. Was it awful?
It was okay.
It was okay. Okay. I found out I got to know you a little bit more
Yeah.
because I've like I say, I know your wife very well, and
Mhm.
I've known you for some time, but we never talked.
No, I like to stay kind of private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you dropped it a little bit though. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.